Good morning, it is day 85 and we are on the trail. Well, we're walking to the trail now from the shelter, but it rained a lot last night and it looks like a beautiful day today, so I'm okay with that. I'd rather it rain while I'm sleeping and be beautiful while I'm hiking. So we are doing a 18 plus day today and getting out of the Shenandoahs. One step closer to Harper's Ferry.
We are indeed in the middle of a rainstorm.
Here's a view from the cliffs today. It's our first really nice view. Look at those clouds out there. It's so beautiful. Boy, did we get lucky. Nice day after a good rain. I want to do a huge shout out to my big brother, Ken. I only have one of those, and I have 3 little brothers. Well, younger brothers. Kenny is older than me by 18 months, but he sent me a virtual Trail Magic birthday present to help me with my next pair of shoes. So I just wanted to give him and his wife Susanna a huge shout out and say thank you so much. I will be using that gift when I get to Pennsylvania to get my next pair of shoes, and they will carry me another 500 or 600 miles. So that was so thoughtful and sweet, and I sincerely appreciate it. So I love you both, and thank you, thank you, thank you. These posts right here we won't see once we leave the Shenandoahs. This is our water source right now. Look at how well that water is flowing. I wanted to talk about Gravel Springs Hut before I forget, but there's posts in the far out that talk about Annabelle the rat and that she had babies and they were relocated, but I don't think they relocated all the rats, because the girl that was staying in there last night said she had at least one rat going around and tugging on her sock that wasn't on her foot, by the way. So we stayed in our tents, but if Annabelle and her babies got relocated, they must have forgot about Mr. Annabelle, because there's still at least one rat still in the shelter. So, and she must have been a regular Annabelle because they named her. Point 1 from getting out of the Shenandoah National Park. It has taken us 5 nights, and this is day 6. So I don't know if there's going to be a marker at point 1 or not, but we'll find out. We are out of the Shenandoahs. We have a point 1 to get to Tom Floyd Wayside, which is the first shelter outside of the Shenandoahs, and we will stop and eat lunch there. So, boy, the Shenandoahs footpath was pretty nice to us. We had some climbs, but it really let us cover some ground, and we didn't have a ton of views, but we had some really beautiful ones when we had them. And we were in the forest a lot. We crossed over the Skyline Drive a lot. We saw a lot of deers. We didn't see any bear. A couple chipmunks, some bunnies, a rattlesnake, a mouse at the shelter. But I enjoyed it. I'd like to come back. Okay, here's the turnoff for the shelter. the Far Out calls it a hut or a wayside, and the sign here called it a shelter. But it's not far off the trail at all. It's got a nice porch. What's this? One more look at the Tom Lloyd shelter. It's got this really nice bench. The privy, I guess, has a lot to be desired, but it's got a good fireplace, a fire pit. And then this is what the inside of the shelter looks like. So, but it's close and it's not very far off the shelter, so it's worth a stop if you need a break. We have 8 more miles until we get to our campsite today. And it's supposed to be a pretty fancy shelter. It's got a pavilion with a picnic table, and it even has a shower that's heated with solar that is there for the backpackers. So that's kind of exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And I think we'll get there early enough for me to dry out my tent from this morning. Season 1 did hers over lunch, and I decided to wait because I thought we'd get there early enough for me to be able to do it when I got to the camp site. So hopefully that's true. Now we'll be going past something royal, which is a town coming up. We just saw a deer and it bolted. So it's definitely a sign that we're outside the Shenandoah National Park, because they could care less whether we're walking by or not. But this guy bolted as soon as he figured out we were there. Those berries that I tried the other day and spit out, they look like strawberries, but I don't think they are. I think we're past strawberries now. Haven't seen something like this in a while. It's someone's backyard. Wouldn't that be so cool? To have your backyard right next to the Appalachian Trail. Just left some trail magic, and the woman who was doing it, her trail name is MCM because she is Mountain Crusher's mother. And he hiked last year with Snapshot and Cobweb Rose. And so it's kind of a small world, because season 1 reached out to Cobweb Rose before she got on the trail and connected with her because she was watching her YouTube and was asking her about her backpack, and because she carried a bear vault like season 1 did. And then MCM, her family is from Germany, and her family is near where Phoenix is from. So we were just talking about what a small world this is, and it was just really cool. The father is a talker. He just kept on sharing some really cool information. We really enjoyed listening to him. He's a physical therapist, and he had some great stories. We sat there for quite a while. We had pizza, we had a drink, and some watermelon. So now we are waddling over these papers and or over these little walkways, and we don't really need to, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing it anyway. We've been looking for a sign that talked about the Shenandoahs the whole time we've been here. So these are the walkway things. They got off of them, but you know, I'll probably walk on them and end up spraining my ankle or something. But I better get off, because otherwise I'll never catch up to them. But the people that were doing the trail magic, we were just talking about different people hiking, and I was telling them about my brother Ron and how I have 4 brothers, and he was the only one that took up my request to go hiking with me. And You know, he was overweight, he smoked, he's a diabetic, and he has I always say this wrong, arthritis, but anyways, bone on his knees. So he has 2 knee braces, and they were just so surprised that one, he went hiking with me in the Smokies for the last several years, and 2, that he did the first 208 miles of the Appalachian Trail with me. So Ronnie, if you're watching this, Tin Man, I was bragging on you a little bit today. Love you, buddy. We're almost done with our hiking day, and the train has been a lot like this, 18.8, and we had a nice break at lunch, nice break at Trail Magic, and so I don't really feel like it's been a very tiring day, and a much easier 18.8 day than some of the other ones we've had in the past. So I think maybe that's why my knees aren't bothering me as much as they were before. So coming into the Shenandoahs and this part of the trail at this point has been perfect timing for my body, because it's given it a break from the hard climbs. Okay, we're getting ready to turn off to the Molly Denton shelter. We just stopped at the spring, filled up our water, and heading down this little side trail to get to this shelter. I'm excited to see it. Everybody talks about how nice it is. And we just met a girl at the spring, and she said it wasn't very crowded. They got here around 2 o'clock, and she said she hasn't seen anybody else come in since they got here. So we're thinking probably people got off at Front Royal either to resupply or to get off and stay at the hostel there. So there's the pavilion, and look at this beautiful shelter. Hello. Well, this is where they have the horseshoes. Look at this nice Adirondack chair, shelter. It's got 2 top bunks and then this big long platform. Some little stairs on the side to get up, and these nice benches. What a nice area. And then there's a shower somewhere. Just checked out the camping spots, and I think I'm gonna stay in the shelter tonight. There's only 2 really that are available, and they're both kind of slanted. So the shelter looks really nice and clean, and it's got flowers around it. So I'm gonna stay in the shelter tonight and just enjoy it.
I asked her to tell me the story. And she
I said, so you tell it, and then Jay, he can tell you what she heard.
Everybody's telling me all kinds of versions. And I'm like, that's crazy. But she